If you're anything like me, you've probably been struggling with punctuation on the SAT for a while. You might see a question like this, look at all the answer choices, and think that pretty much all the answers make sense. It's not your fault. Punctuation on the SAT defies all logic and intuition. However, there's another way. Here's punctuation on the SAT made easy. The basic strategy is to see what's going on in the answer choices and ask if the punctuation really needs to be there. There's only really three types of punctuation on the SAT. What I like to call stop, pause, or also half stop, as well as go. So stop punctuation includes periods, exclamation marks, question marks, commas with one of the fanboys, and if you forgot what fanboys is, it's just for, and, nor, but, or, yet, so. And there's also semicolons in stop punctuation. Pause punctuation is going to be composed of colons as well as long dashes. As for go punctuation, this is going to have commas as well as simply having no punctuation at all. Don't worry if this is a little confusing at first, the examples will make this much clearer. So the first thing we need to do in this example is see what's changing in the answer choices. So as we can see, since the punctuation between value and you is changing, the question is testing us on how we can join ideas together. So as we can see here, the first part of this sentence is not a complete idea. And we can test this by just simply reading out loud. If this video has given you value, well, this isn't a complete sentence or an idea because it seems to be missing at the end. What exactly happens if this video gives you value? Well, we don't know that because it's not a complete idea. However, the second part of this question is a complete idea because if you just read it by itself, it makes sense. You should consider subscribing. That would make sense by itself. So we have an incomplete idea followed by a complete idea, meaning that anything with stop and pause punctuation can be eliminated. Again, this is because stop needs two complete ideas, whereas pause must have the complete idea first. So therefore, we can eliminate C as well as D. The only choices left are A and B. Reading both options out loud, having a pause between value and you is more natural. Commas are also used to link incomplete ideas together. So therefore, the use of a comma here is actually more appropriate. Therefore, the correct answer is A. Don't worry if commas seem a little bit confusing right now, because we will go over specific comma rules later on. So for this question, we can take a similar approach to the one that we did in question 1. The first part of this sentence is a complete idea because it can stand all by itself. However, the second part is not a complete idea because if you just read it out loud by itself, it doesn't really make sense. So this is incomplete. Have a complete idea followed by an incomplete idea. We can eliminate any stop punctuation like choices A and D because stop requires there to be two complete ideas. So we are basically just left with two go punctuation. So note that one answer choice B, has more words than answer choice C. And on the SAT, a good rule of thumb is to just pick whatever answer is the most concise, given that there are no other errors. So in this case, the correct answer would actually be C. So for this question, the first part of the sentence is incomplete because it doesn't make sense by itself. What would exactly happen whenever the person in question has a free moment? However, the second part of this question does make sense just by itself. So therefore, this is a complete idea. We have an incomplete idea followed by a complete idea. We can eliminate any pause punctuation as well as any stop punctuation. So we can eliminate answer choices C as well as A. We are basically left with two go answer choices. So a comma is only used if we can link incomplete ideas together. There is in fact a reason to use a comma, so in this case the correct answer would be D. So when exactly should we use no punctuation or use a comma? A comma is only used if you can cite a reason to use it. Only used if you can cite a reason. So there's only 4 reasons to use a comma on the SAT. So the first reason is a comma plus fanboys. So you only use a comma in stop punctuation with one of the fanboys. So if you have a case where you have a comma and a fanboys, that will be an appropriate case to use a comma. The second reason is in go punctuation to separate incomplete ideas. So in this case, if you have a go punctuation or like a go sentence with incomplete ideas, you will want to use a comma to separate those incomplete ideas from other ideas. You also would use commas in a list containing 3 or more things, as well as using a comma in a sentence containing unnecessary information. Alright, so those are the only 4 reasons on why you would ever use a comma. Let's go through some practice problems. So note that for this question, there is a list. Therefore, the use of commas is justified. So we can eliminate A, B, and we will keep C and D. So there's actually no reason for the comma after and here. So the correct answer in this case would actually be C. For this question, you want to ask yourself what's changing in the answer choices. Commas, as you can see, seem to be dancing around the phrase although owed. So in this case, we should remember that commas can be used in a sentence containing unnecessary information. So let's read the sentence without the phrase although owed. Their dog was still as energetic as ever. So note that the sentence still makes sense. This would mean that this phrase, although owed, is actually unnecessary, and therefore should be surrounded by commas. So we can eliminate all of these options, and the correct answer would just be choice D. For this question, we want to separate the sentence into complete and incomplete ideas. So the first part of this question, despite what others have told her, is an incomplete idea because it does not make sense by itself. Whereas the second portion, she still accomplished her dreams, is actually a complete idea because it does make sense by itself. So a comma's use is justified if you use it to separate incomplete ideas from other ideas. So actually there should be a comma between her and she in this case. So there is also no need for the extra comma after the she, like in answer choice C. You don't need this comma. So all the other questions, A, C, and D are wrong, and therefore the correct answer in this case would be B. Now for this last example, we want to note the use of and in the question. So if we see this and we also see the comma, then we can probably tell that this question is testing the use of commas with fanboys. Again, fanboys is for and nor, but, or, yet, so. So a comma's use is justified in stop punctuation linking two complete ideas if it is followed by one of the fanboys. So look at the two ideas and note that how they both are complete ideas because they make sense by themselves. Therefore, we can use a comma with one of the fanboys here. So choice B is wrong. C also doesn't make sense, and there is no need for the extra comma here in D. So therefore, the correct answer choice is A. No change. So if you enjoyed this type of no BS and concise way of teaching, or this video has given you value, you should definitely do what the question asks. Thank you for your attention and good luck in your studies.